mayor of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, just 35 miles from East Palestine, Ohio, less than an hour away. Mayor, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me, Natasha. It's a pleasure.
What is your immediate reaction to seeing the interviews we just saw on Rich's piece just now? That couple from Pennsylvania, like so many, are experiencing health effects. If the EPA says that the water is safe and the air is safe, then why are residents reporting being sick?
Well, let me just start by saying that it's absolutely heartbreaking to see the reaction from these individuals who you're interviewing. And that seems to be the case across the board, and not just with people on the ground in East Palestine, but also here in the Slippery Rock area as well. What you have, unfortunately, is a situation where people might not be scientists or chemists, but we have two eyes and we have a brain. And you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that when you see a black plume of smoke traveling 30 miles into the stratosphere, followed by 30-mile-per-hour gusts of wind, you know that particulate matter is going to be blown around. You know that's going to fall in the soil. You know the water is going to absorb it, and you know that you're going to be breathing in it as well.
Do you trust the EPA's all clear at this point?
I think that it's important that we're having multiple agencies, independent agencies that are doing soil testing. Unfortunately, you always can't just go with everything that folks in authority are saying. And let me say this too, it is inherently American for us to question people who are in authority. So I don't think there's anything wrong with individuals saying, hey, I want a second or a third look from an independent agency outside of the EPA.
Since the train derailment, you did mention those 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts have been pushing into western Pennsylvania out of Ohio. What is your area experiencing, and what are you hearing from residents that's concerning to you?
Sure. Well, I'm hearing all sorts of things from residents close by in the Slippery Rock area, Harrisville, even Grove City, that I believe is outside of that 30-mile range that a new lawsuit has just named, coming out of New Galilee from two gentlemen there. But what you're hearing from residents is saying, that they're having some difficulty in breathing, some mystery sinus illness, some mystery coughs as well. And so it's really hard for us to just put that aside and say, well, it's just the seasons changing, or it could be dry air. Again, when you have two eyes and you see a black plume heading into the stratosphere and being pushed by winds, it's hard not to imagine that is having an adverse effect on your health.
And you heard from that resident, Caitlin. She is just over the border in Pennsylvania. If residents are outside of that immediate Ohio area and are in fact in Pennsylvania, are they eligible for any of the benefits or the help that may be coming?
So things are still kind of up in the air for us right now. Obviously, this is in Ohio, so it's across state lines. I have heard some from Governor Shapiro, and I heard a little bit from our representative in Congress, Congressman Mike Kelly, who have said that they're keeping an eye on things there. And of course, we've been directed to the Northwestern EPA's office if you have any questions about this, or if you're looking for well water testing, for instance. But there's really not enough to give individuals peace of mind here. And I think that's what's most important. We're not hearing enough from Pete Buttigieg. We're not hearing enough from Joe Biden. And just a little bit more communication would do well to give us a little bit of peace of mind to those of us who are wondering what that black plume on the screen there is going to mean for us and our health in Pennsylvania and in Ohio.
I hear you. In your opinion, did Governor DeWine wait too long to request federal aid?
Absolutely. I mean, I would think that if it were me, I would have been on the phone with the president right away. And I probably would have given a call to my colleague in Governor Shapiro's office as well and said, hey, what can we do to make sure that we're partnering on this, that we're serving our constituents and their interest? And more than that, I would make sure that we had boots on the ground right away. It would do really well to see some leaders there on the ground there, shaking hands with individuals, hearing their concerns, and also saying we're going to hold people accountable for this.
Okay, appreciate it. Jondavid Longo, mayor of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.